Some of you may have heard, some of you may not, but there's been a bit of news recently. In fact, yesterday, Paradox has made it known that the game that we suspected might never be made is in fact being made. And there'll be more news on it coming this September, namely Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is kind of a big deal because Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines is and was an absolute classic in the repertoire of RPGs. It was witty, well written, and it was kind of fun to play as well at the time, although very buggy. If you've never played Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines before, I would strongly urge you to do so. Now, this is a big deal because what happened originally 2 or 3 years ago was that Paradox, the publisher, were employing one Hardsuit Labs, they are a developer, to make the game Bloodlines 2. And long story short, they fired the entire team, scrapped everything, and tried to recoup their losses, and presumably found somebody new to make the game. Which is why this announcement doesn't exactly inspire confidence or faith, because, let's be honest, if they've already done this once, why should we be particularly trustful in anything Paradox does? And for the record, I think Paradox is one of the worst publishers out there. Yes, they're great for their own real-time strategy games, such as Crusader Kings or Europa Universalis, etc., but when it comes to other titles they publish, they're not that great. For example, Tyranny, a game I love and many of you probably enjoy as well, was published under the aegis of Paradox, and what happened? Well, nothing good, because we're never going to see a sequel whatsoever, because Paradox would neither sell the rights to somebody like Microsoft in order that Obsidian might produce another game in that world, nor would they entertain the thought of hiring somebody else to do it. So Paradox is a pretty untrustworthy, unreliable publisher, but again, this is a big deal because many people have waited a very long time. As I said, this doesn't inspire confidence because they originally had one of the lead writers of the original game, Brian Masoda, who they also sacked, and he's presumably not writing for it anymore, I guess, I'd assume. So, will this game match the wit, the storytelling, and the sheer fun of the original? I severely doubt it. So I'm looking at this, waiting with bated breath, as it were, and I have very little confidence, but we will be seeing something in September, allegedly. There's some screenshots here, which you can see. It's nothing impressive, it's nothing too amazing, but it's something to look at. It doesn't look particularly appealing so far, but I could be wrong about that. The original character models and animations that they showed prior to firing Hardsuit Laboratories looked, to be perfectly honest, god-awful. They looked terrible. So maybe there's an improvement here, but I think we need to be very cautious here. Guarded optimism is the phrase I might use here because who knows what's going to happen. Would I love to see a great title similar to Vampire Bloodlines? Absolutely. How likely is it given the track record of Paradox and whoever they are employing for the sake of making the game? So I'm going to try to keep an open mind. And of course, people who originally pre-ordered that game are getting refunds now. So I guess we'll have to see what happens. But in theory, it's kind of big news. We'll have to wait and see in September. And I will follow up on this for sure. And if and when the game comes out, I will certainly cover it. It is one of my favorite games of all time. I don't really have a favorite, but I have many games that I enjoy a lot in the RPG arsenal, and this is one of them. Great game. If you've never played it before, make sure you download the unofficial patch and play it and enjoy it. It's a fantastic game, even 20 years later. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. As always, if you could hit the like button, subscribe, share, comment, all that YouTube jazz would be much appreciated. Until the next time, take care. Bye-bye.